Goodness gracious. There. Okay then. Okay, we'll wait for some people to get in here. Hello there, Mr. Caleb Light. Hello there. Welcome. Hello there, Mr. How fast? Pretty fast. I'm not gonna lie. Now, maybe not as fast as, time, but, decently fast. A little fast. There are some interesting things that come to, there are some interesting things you gotta kind of discuss and explain away if you want to talk about JJK power scaling. Or speed scaling. Not necessarily power scaling. Is JJK faster than light? Yes. Say the tier. So depending on what you want to take into account. Let me get the scans just so everyone knows I'm not crazy. But there's this thing in Jujutsu Kaisen, right? The sure hit effect of a domain. And the thing about that is that, these attacks, as they're described in the anime, and probably the manga too, I'll have to double check, but they kind of hit you before they exist. Are you sure? Are you sure? Hold on one second, I got it. Goku smokes Gojo? Or Gojo smokes Goku. Ah. Okay, you had me worried there for a second. But yeah. Let's see. What chapter were domains introduced? It was before chapter 21, I think. It was like chapter 14, maybe? Chapter 16. Almost. Okay, chapter 15. So that's that. And then they fought Dagon, like chapter 88, I want to say? No, too far back. Chapter 98 will do. Even that's kind of... Okay, hold on. Damn, this manga's really fucking long. This manga's both a lot longer and a lot shorter than I remember. Okay, yeah, here we are. Am I saying they have irrelevant speed? Maybe... No, not irrelevant speed. Not irrelevant speed. That's a bit much, even for me. Even I couldn't really... Like, I do some crazy work sometimes. They're not like that. They're not built like that. But, if I can get the scans up. The way that these sure hits are described in the manga seems to imply that they hit them. Hold on. Yeah, Maki says it in the manga. A Shikigami, that must be the domain's can't miss attack. I didn't notice it until it hit me. No, it didn't exist until it hit me. So let me get the... I'll screen cut these things and we'll... discuss it, but this is something I was thinking about just recently, and I was like, hey, wait a minute. Gojo being able to block the sure hit effect of a domain, that's like, that's kind of like really broken. Like, that's a bit much, even for me, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I was thinking about it, I was like, so like, how can Gojo block an attack that doesn't exist yet? And I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this immeasurable speed? Let me get the scans up now. But are you sure? Hold on. Actually, you know what'd be really cool? Hold on. Let me rework the thumbnail for this thing. Actually, yeah, let me get the scans up first so we can all digest what we're thinking about. Sure hits. So here's the first one. Curse technique deployed in the domain will always hit. Gojo says it himself. Then sure hits number 2. Gojo reiterates that it will always hit. Always. Put that one there. And then the last one, this is the important one. Because, like, if it always hit, but, like, you could still, you know, perceive it, you know, that's fine. You know, that's... You know, Gojo's faster than the rest of the verse easily, so he should be able to kind of, like, decipher that. But the interesting thing is when Maki comments in the manga, no, it didn't exist until it hit me. We'll make this one a little bigger. We'll put that one right there. But yeah, that's the logic behind that. Religion force automatically makes any person boundless. Ano. Are you sure? Ano. Are you Hold on, let me. There's got to be a fucking.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
That will never not be funny. Are you sure? Are you sure? Let's see. So somewhat like Simon's probability missiles, not that they hit you across time or whatever, but in the sense that you're kind of cooked if they get used. It does kind of depend on what you're willing to take into account. The scans aren't the cleanest, unfortunately, so you know, take it however you... Yeah, but... that is super clean. Oh, no, okay, this one's cleaner. Yeah, this will work. Are you sure? Are you sure? I gotta... Ah, it looks like fucking shit. Blow it up. God damn it. I'm not really saying anything, my bad. I kind of get in the zone when I do thumbnails. Put Freewind in Black Clover verse. How far can she realistically go? Vice versa for Asa. Or Asta. Here's the thing. I don't know, like, anything about Black Clover, so. Or Freewind, really. I know she created a black hole in the anime. That's about it. The black hole is like planet level, large planet level. Some calcs get it up to star level, but you know. Even Freewind fans will admit it's a massive outlier. You know, unlike Naruto fans. You know, if they created a black... Nah, I won't finish that sentence. Black hole cannot destroy a solar system? Yeah. So first we got solar system Toto, now we have immeasurable speed. Maybe. Like, it's up to your interpretation. But honestly, like, if you want to interpret it as immeasurable speed, or as a form of immeasurable speed, or even as, like, a resistance to immeasurable speed, that honestly does a lot for these characters. Even if they have just a even if only, like, Gojo and Sukuna, right? Those would be, like, the only two characters you could probably definitively prove scale to this. Having, like, even a resistance to immeasurable speed, or being able to, like, I guess react to immeasurable speed, which would still be immeasurable speed. Like, these things are very interpretation heavy. The issue is that the interpretation here is fucking wild. Now, some people have suggested that Gojo's able to do this because he's using the 6 eyes, but in my opinion, not likely, considering you can't use curse techniques inside of a domain. Or that's how it's supposed to be, anyway. And then JJK kind of fiddled that up a little bit. Very inconsistent about it. Whew, goodness. that right there. There we are. Shrink that down. Bam. Bam, 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 bam. There we are. I like that. That's good.
Are you sure?
That will never not be funny. Maybe it will be. Maybe it will be not funny. Why'd you get muted for 24 hours? That's weird. Yes, but even supermassive black holes. In what scenario could 50 Viltrumites defeat 50 Saiyans? I know you made a short where she said it was close, but Saiyan W. The issue for the Viltrumites would just be their Danarchy. Oh, there you are. Okay, I see you. Why is this music peak? Well, maybe because it's Sonic music. In fact, this is from Sonic 3D Blast Rusty Ruin Zone Act 2 for the Sega Genesis. The reason why it's peak is because Sonic music literally always hits. It's like always it always hits. The fucking bow bow. Blech. I made a steak. A steak? Yes. Where does the concept of integrity scale? I don't know. If you can prove that, you know, if you can kind of prove that concepts are... If you can prove the concept of integrity is, like, platonic, I suppose it would be outer. But honestly, I think Plato... Yeah. I think Plato's theory is kind of dog shit. Like, if I can level with you for a second. Bad theory. Don't like it. It's beautiful in terms of, like, its philosophical context. But in terms of its, like, scaling context, dog shit. That's just my opinion, but, you know. But would you lose? Nah. I'd win. Sukuna versus Dio? Sukuna versus Dio is interesting. The winner, though, I actually haven't kind of... Oh, wait, actually, that's a good question. I gotta ask. Hey. Would I rather what? Touch grass or touch water? I love swimming. If there was a pool by me, I'd be spending most of my time there. I love the pool. Now, there isn't a pool by me, but if there was, like, I'd be spending... I love swimming. Definitely water. Okay, there we are. I like this one. This is a good one. There we are. Okay. So what's up, chat? What's good? How many times do I work out a week? Like 3. Like 3 or 4 times a week. Depending. Law versus DMS Kakashi. Law wins because Hack search it up. You think... Okay. So, Law, if I remember correctly, Law can, like, detach your limbs and stuff, right? Law versus Kakashi, right? The issue is that in order to do that, he needs to touch you, doesn't he? That's the issue. So how fast are One Piece characters? And I know there's this guy that had like Usopp at like 8 times the speed of light, and that's fine, but you can get Kakashi to like 72 times faster than the light. Probably even higher. No. What do you mean, no? Room? What does man mean, room? What is blood waffling about? The only thing making it boundless is the fact that truth has to get people to agree with it in order to defeat it. Is that a debunk for... What about Jotaro versus Gojo? I believe Sephiroth can beat Aizen. Okay, how? Virgil versus Aizen, how? Is basically the size of a mountain. If you are in it, he can do anything. Anything. Also, you use DMS Kakashi. Let me look up Law, because if I remember correctly, he can, like, all he can do... Oh, I forgot. His name is fucking Law. If I look up just Law... You know, we're talking about the same guy, right? This guy beats Kakashi? I don't know about that, dog. Damn, his... Hold on, actually, he's one of those... Yeah, he has... Yeah, okay. Let's see, okay. Physical abilities, yeah. Medical expertise, yeah. Tactical skills, yeah. Devil Fruit, okay. Which allows him to create a sphere of blue light aura, inside which he can manipulate the fabric of space. That would be good against maybe Gojo, but not Kakashi. Manifest the sphere into a very wide area, however, he cannot move the sphere once he's conjured it. So it's basically the same thing. Sukuna is like Mach 2, liar. Me when I lie straight through my teeth. Naruto versus DBZ. I don't know. Y'all think I know everything. No. Naruto is a Buu Saga victim, unironically. Oh goodness. Oh. Excuse me. But, yeah. He's not getting past Vegito. Like, literally never. I don't know if anyone's getting past Vegito, honestly. Like, here's kind of the trippy thing about Vegito, right? If you think that Vegito is, like, fast... If you think Vegito is, like... you know... if you think that Vegito is, no, okay, if you think Goku and Vegeta are like 4D by the time Dragon Ball Z rolls around, right? Vegito would be like fucking an incomprehensible amount into multiversal. Sukuna is irrelevant speed? I'm not saying irrelevant speed. That would imply that the concepts of speed and distance don't really apply to him anymore. But, you know, you could potentially interpret this as a form of immeasurable speed. Maybe. No, yeah, obviously. He's, like, beyond the tiering system, obviously. Sephiroth is multiversal plus and has some crazy abilities that I believe he can bypass some of Aizen's useful abilities. Okay. Like what? You're also forgetting, you know, like, you can argue Aizen above multiversal plus, but, you know, whatever. Or around Mach 1. Are you being serious right now? Bagel 117. Get out of here. What are you talking about? What is man on about? What you talk about, Willis? What you talk about, Willis? If you get that reference, you're based. Undeniably 100% super based. Sukuna is legit Mach 2. I think y'all are honestly capping low-key. He can switch your soul with another soul. Can attack the internal organs. Okay, well, attacking the internal organs doesn't mean anything because it's not like your internal organs are, like, infinitesimally weaker than your outsides. I hear what you're saying, but I think Naruto and Sasuke being the great ninja easily stomp Vegito. What the fuck are you talking about? Naruto and Sasuke during the Great Ninja War easily stomped Vegito at his best? What are you talking about? Get out of here. How the fuck is Sukuna immeasurable speed with... Okay, so here's the method, right? Here you have Gojo saying that a cursed technique deployed in domain will always hit. And this, he reiterates it, always hits. Now here, Gojo actually blocks the sure hit effect of the domain. Here, Maki explains, no, it didn't exist until it hit me. And the anime actually doubles down on this. If I could find, like, a picture, I'm going to, but... Because Duraneg attacks? That's crazy. Let me see if I can find, like a scan from the anime or something. Maki sure hits effect of the domain. Because the anime actually doubles down on this and very clearly, visually, shows us that this kind of thing is happening. Now, I'm not sure how, I don't know, fucking... This shit's fucking confusing. Straight effect. Dagon. Okay, yeah, I probably won't be able to find it, but if you watch the anime, you know what I'm talking about. What'd you talk about, Willis? Bow, 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 bow. The didn't exist until it is only Dagon's domain. You can't prove that. You literally can't prove that. That goes for every domain, dog. Like, that's kind of, like, generally accepted, I would think. Every domain has a sure hit effect. Like, part of the advantage of a domain expansion is to have that sure hit, so that, you know, whatever helps you cope, I guess, but there's literally no evidence for said cope, so take it however you will. Hello there, Mr. That's a lot of kanji that I'm not going to be able to read. Bro, can you stop with the rage? Massively hypersonic to relativistic is fast. Liar. Do I need to explain the method again? Because I'll explain the method again. Sephiroth can negate Aizen's durability. That doesn't really matter. Sephiroth doesn't rely... Sephiroth. Aizen isn't carried by durability. That's a logical fallacy. I don't need to prove it when it isn't stated for any other domain in the series. Fuck off with your fucking logical fallacies, dog. Suck my... No, okay. I gotta calm down. But yeah, honestly, in my opinion, considering the fact that the sure hit effect of a domain is generally accepted by most people, like, honestly, yeah, I gotta calm down. Power scaling is not that deep. You know what is deep? Fucking logical fallacies, apparently. Fucking everyone's like, oh, logical fallacy. And, like, logical fallacies, obviously, like, they have their place, of course. Like, I'm not gonna say, like, you should never use them. Because, obviously, they have their, like, duh. They have their, place and all that. Damn. You know what's crazy? Even if you wanted to argue that it only was for Dagon's domain, which I disagree with, but you know, even if you wanted to go with that interpretation, they still have a counter. It's crazy. If you remember, one of the sorcerers in there, I believe his name is Nobito. I can't pronounce his name, unfortunately, but he does have a counter to this attack that hits you before it exists. Right there. Falling Blossom Emotion. Gojo can do this too, by the way. I can't remember if Sukuna can. Unlikely. I scale Luffy over Naruto now. Good for you. Anyway. Is there a logical fallacy about logical fallacy abuse? There should be. Also, if Gojo was immeasurable speed, why didn't he use the immeasurable speed to one-shot every curse in Shibuya? Hey, I'm just... don't shoot the messenger. I'm just presenting a potential scaling chain that you could use. And you could just argue that it's Gojo having some sort of resistance to immeasurable speed. That's all I'm saying. Like, let's not get crazy. I'm not going to say that Gojo does have immeasurable speed, right? Okay, so let's not take me out of context. Like, can you believe that you scale Luffy to multiversal plus? Anyways. Like, can you believe that this guy thinks that Gojo has immeasurable speed? Like, no, I don't think that, obviously. Gojo and Sukuna are still, like, faster than Light by maybe a few times. Maybe. Like, I think a dozen times is stretching it. Like, that's you gotta do some crazy work to get them that high. What is this from? Marble Garden Zone Act 1. The fallacy. Yeah, there we are. Dagon is dwarf star level because he made a sun in his domain. Therefore, Gojo is solar system level and destroys My Hero Academia because I said so. You know what is actually crazy? Let's see if I can find that specific panel I'm referring to. Why does that... Okay, no, that's not Maharaga. Yeah, there is a specific panel that does kind of look like a star. It's not in the anime, though, which would be kind of the only issue with that. Dagon or Hanami? Hanami is actually stated to be incredibly durable by JJK. He says something like, if Jogo had gotten 4 black flashes from Yuji, he probably wouldn't be standing still. You know, like that's probably a bit too much for Jogo to handle. And Jogo is above Dagon, so honestly, not necessarily in the sense that you know, Dagon is stronger than not to say that Hanami is like really strong or anything, but you know, I can't really visualize anything Dagon being able to do would really necessitate the something else to consider too, by the way. This is something that I haven't really seen anyone bring up, but there is one thing that I haven't seen anyone... I just said that, but... not saying this scales anyone to anything, but... You know how Tengen's barrier and... Yeah, it was Tengen's barrier and Kenjaku's gravity manipulation. Those were the two things that were kind of resisting the black hole, right? Well, something interesting to note about that is that that was likely done with cursed energy. I feel like most people can agree on that. So, they don't scale to the full black hole, obviously, but they were both using their cursed energy, their cursed techniques, or their, like, natural abilities. I'm not sure what you would classify Tengen's barrier as, but... You know, I think you can actually make an argument for Kenjaku and Tengen actually downscaling the black hole, and not to a crazy extent either. That's just what I'm thinking from... That's just what I'm seeing from my point of view, though. If anyone has any thoughts about that. But yeah. Yeah, this is the star in quotations. This is the star. It's an action highlight, but you know, no, I can't even say it can be used for wank. Honestly, it's like negative wank. It's like. On the one hand, it would be really weird if it was an action highlight, because that does not look like the appropriate place for an action highlight if you're drawing a manga. At the same time, that's a really weird looking sun. It can't be a sun. Like, no one would draw a sun like that. JJK was just being quirky that day and was like, what if I made my manga look really weird? He already does that with the feet, though. Yuki's black hole could destroy the Earth the same way I could dig a hole through a mountain with a spoon. That's not what it says. The force of gravity drops off exponentially as you get further away from the black hole. See, the issue with that is that Kenjaku was right there. Kenjaku was all up in her business. Pause. But yeah. If you remember the manga, you know, like I do, because I... you know, read. No, I don't. My dyslexic ass cannot read, but Kenjaku was, like, right up in there with her. And then using his gravity. Like, okay, like, I get that the force of gravity for a black hole does probably drop off, like, quite a bit, even if you're only, like, that far away. Like, even if you're not that far away, you know, you still kind of, like, it's still not as strong, you know? But, again, I'm sure you can probably get, like, a calculation for how much energy Kenjaku would be putting out there. Or, like, how, like, in order to, like, resist the pull of a black hole, or however you want to do the math or the calculations, or... But yeah, that's Yuki, that's Kenjaku. And Kenjaku is kind of backing away from what I can tell. But yeah, it was just an idea I had. You can probably get a calculation for it. It probably still isn't close to planetary. If I had to guess, it's still probably going to end up in those, like, country to maybe large country ranges, making a random estimate. But yeah, someone could probably make some sort of math for that. The force of Kenjaku resisting the black hole gets to town level. Well, I haven't seen any calcs for that, so... You know, until I see calcs for that, will not be considering that. Although even town level, I know that's not strong, like, compared to, like, Dragon Ball, like, obviously, but, you know, that still puts Kenjaku on the level of, like, nuclear bombs, dog, like, fucking, like, Naruto rotted all your brains. It's always Naruto's fault. When in doubt, blame... When in doubt, blame Naruto. Dagon eats universes for a taste. Alright, I didn't put the Discord link. Notorious B.I.G. The notorious Big Raga, the Obstapa. I hate flies. Bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Favorite anime protagonist? It's gotta be Goku. Every way to Sunday, it's Goku. Hold on. Seeing as Gojo and Sukuna are around city level, you know, you can actually get them higher than that, even based on actual feats from the manga and anime. If I can be so real with you for a second, I'm pretty sure the people that scale Gojo and Sukuna to only city level just haven't watched the anime. Or, no, they have watched the anime. They haven't read the manga. Fucking hell. Either anime onlys or people who are like, like I don't want to say like lying, because lying is bad, lying is wrong, but Nirvana Goku versus JJK. I'm not gonna argue JJK is like crazy or anything like that, like I still have some semblance of sanity there. Really, in reality, I think at best this just gives Gojo like a resistance to, or some kind of counter to immeasurable speed. Or maybe he does have like some kind of instantaneous reaction ability, but you know, based on the attack, you know, not existing until the attack hitting you before it even exists. Yeah. Apparently, there was a theory that that Yuji would also be able to use oh goodness, would also be able to use the how long have I been streaming for? 46 minutes? Yeah, we can do a little longer. I forgot what I was talking about, by the way. I completely forgot. It fell right out of my head, but... Sukuna versus Meruem?
Dog, Sukuna's destroying Meruem.
Sukuna's destroying Meruem, man. Like, even without the speed scaling I've been doing for them right now. Even ignoring, like, hold on, let me... Even kind of ignoring the work I've been doing for them, and even kind of ignoring like everything that we've done the last couple streams. Honestly, like, I don't know if Meruem can even defeat like regular Sukuna. Like, unless you think Sukuna really is only city level, and then like, you got like Meruem at like mountain to island level, I guess. But like, at the same time, you know, like even then, Meruem's like very much a punch kick kind of guy. And then, like, Sukuna, yeah, he'll take a beating, but as we can see, the black flat, like, Sukuna can reinforce his body with cursed energy. Honestly, I don't see any way Meruem's gonna legitimately take Sukuna down. Especially since Sukuna can heal himself with reverse curse technique. So if even if Meruem does manage to hit Sukuna in a way that does legitimately, like, hurt him, like, Sukuna's gonna be fine, honestly. And all it takes is, like, one domain expansion. Honestly, Meruem's cooked there, even, but... You know, domain expansion, hit him with the world-cutting slash. Meruem's not surviving that. Mahito versus Perfect Cell? I mean, Cell still beats characters on that level. Like... the solar system stuff is only with Black Flash. Literally only with Black Flash. And reinforcing your body with cursed energy. Oh goodness, excuse me. But yeah. But Meruem solo? How? Super Neo Metal versus the Dragon Ball Superverse. Super Neo Metal got that 100%. Can you watch Tai Learned Hokage versus the Admirals video? I mean, no. Not for this stream. I have other things that I got to do today. Which I wanted to say earlier, but this is probably going to be a shorter stream. But, hell yeah. What is this? Which one is this? This sounds familiar. Door into Summer. I love this one. It is very odd that, you know, I think the counter flash stuff is kind of, you know. Oh, there was a guy that was saying that, like, well. What was I talking about? I completely forgot, but yeah. I don't think people understand how big of an increase a power sign is. Huh? You mean exponents? Like, I understand the power of exponents. That shit's fucking crazy. Like, there's a line in the Cell Saga where, like, or I think it was Android 16 or something, but he says that Cell has increased his power exponentially. If you want to take this to mean, like, literally, you know, like cell times cell level increase, I think that's universal right there, honestly, just based on the math. JJK even made a panel pretty much saying the whole exponent thing with the black flash doesn't... I hate when people bring that up because they're wrong. It's not the exponent that that doesn't make sense. It's what one cursed energy is doesn't make sense. Let me find it. I have it. It was, which one was it? I think it was this one. I can't see it because... Yeah, hold on 1 second. A bunch of other shit on the screen, but here it is. Yeah, JJK didn't say that it didn't make sense because of, like, the exponent, but 1 squared is 1. What the heck is 1 cursed energy? That was his issue. And we solved that. We found out what 1 cursed energy is. You can equate cursed energy to a form of electricity. So you convert the joules from you convert joules to electrons, I think. I personally wasn't the one that did the math behind this, but... You know, it's actually consistent. You know how you can have, like, positive and negative electrons? No, electrons are inherently negative, right? Let me look this up. It's protons, right? Positive electrons. I don't know if you can have positive electrons now that I think about it. Yeah, positive electron is not an electron, according to AI overview, but AI sucks, so 1 second. No, yeah, honestly, no, this is super consistent because cursed energy is inherently negative energy. Though it can enhance the body, it can't regenerate it. So you multiply that cursed energy against itself to create positive energy. But yeah, apparently a positive version of an electron is a positron? According to Wikipedia and Encyclopedia Britannica, anyway. But yeah. Pretty sure that wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Prove that. Prove that. I don't think it was meant to be taken seriously. You can't prove that. So, go away. Whatever, it's not that serious, but either way. Most authors make jokes about how their story can be inconsistent. Oh, you were talking about the Gege thing. Where the Gege's like, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure even Akira Toriyama makes jokes about his how his story is inconsistent. Or actually, I can't remember if Akira Toriyama was funny. I mean, obviously, if you've read his manga, man can tell a joke, but yeah. That's just where I'm sitting, personally. Yeah, electrons are negative, yeah. You know, my bad, I'm not a fucking scientist or whatever. And I know I say that as a power scaler. It's like, shouldn't you know something about science? You know, like a little bit, but you know, I'm the next Magellan. No, Magellan was an adventurer, not a fucking. Yeah, this goes to show how much I know about fucking. Yeah, Magellan, a Portuguese explorer. Very cool. If black flashes are exponentially stronger, we have an explanation for that. I don't personally agree with the counter flash argument. It's possible, but in my opinion, you know what Toto did against the I could hold on 1 second. I have the thing. No, it's both. It's all visible. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, look. Toto gets hit with a black flash, right? And then Toto he instinctively concentrated all of his cursed energy to his stomach to minimize the damage. So Toto is capable of doing that. And presumably, other characters that get hit with the black flash, like Sukuna, would also be able to do that. That's the explanation. You feel like a 2.5 times increase makes more sense than the power of 2.5? Well, I don't know. Take it up with the author, man. Let's see. Yeah, we've been streaming for about an hour. I got stuff to do in about 13 minutes, roughly. Yeah, short stream. Nothing really to do. Just wanted to present this little tidbit I found. That's a normal thing. Every cursed energy you... Exactly! You get it! You get it, man! You get it! Finally! That's a normal thing every single cursed energy sorcerer can use. Exactly! What is Sukuna's durability? Usually scales to his AP, but when he reinforces his body with cursed energy, universal, honestly, low-key, based on the math, universal. If you can't deal with it, take it up with math. The concept of math. I'm sure they have a complaints box. Based on how exponents work. Based on the way that exponents work, JJK characters are too strong. Mr. Math, you need to change how you work. It's crazy. I just want to say, you know, if like Naruto fans had this, the Thought Robot versus the Sonicverse. Who the fuck is the Thought Robot? If it's one of those characters that's only made for power scaling, then I don't care. Oh, is this fucking Cosmic Armor Superman? It is. It is Cosmic Armor Superman, yeah. Unfortunately, I do not scale DC, so my opinion is not going to be... he was only in 2 issues? That's fucking crazy. Yeah, he is just a power scaling machine, but... I don't have any opinions on him. I suppose maybe you could. I don't know. I heard some motherfuckers say that I actually fought the concept of math because I disagree with it. Every single sorcerer can use reinforcement, yes. And every single sorcerer still uses it against every attack and still got hurt by non-black flashes. Here's the thing, though. They're not using all their cursed energy at once to reinforce themselves from, like, normal attacks. That's the thing. Let's invent our own math so we can scale Goku to boundless. Let's go, baby! Boundless Goku! But yeah, unfortunately, I do not scale DC. I don't know where Cosmic Armor Superman scales. I know he's, like, above. He's probably above, anyway. The regular Batman? Or not Batman, fuck. The regular Superman. I think that's a decent assumption to make. But by how much? No idea. Strong character that someone doesn't like equal power scaling machine. It's not that I don't like Cosmic Armor Superman, I just don't know anything about him. He was in 2 issues of Earth Crisis from fucking literal almost decades ago by this point. Like a decade ago. Well, not a decade ago. No, that's an exaggeration. No, yes, a decade ago. Over a decade ago. Nearly 2 decades ago. Is Outer that kind of level as Wally West? Can Krillin survive the Serious Punch squared? Here's the thing about Krillin, right? He survived a full okay, this was fucking someone put Yuji under fucking Tanjiro, dog. We gotta correct this shit right now. But yeah, Krillin was able to survive a full force Serious Punch from Goku after Battle of Gods, which is more impressive than anything Saitama has ever showcased. Punch to punch, right? Comparing the raw punching force that both characters showcased in their respective series, Goku's punch, Goku's multiversal destroying punches, well above like Saitama's galaxy level punches. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. I got something I gotta do in like 5 minutes. I'm hungry. I'm gonna... Thank you all for tuning into the stream today. I had fun, honestly.